Okay, so hi everybody. My name is Gaston Bacquet. I'm a third-year PhD student at the University of Glasgow, and I'm also an associate tutor. And the purpose of this presentation is to maybe help you think about things that are important to consider and add to your PhD journey as you start your research or start doing your doctoral work. Some things that you might not think about that are important when by the time you finish, things that you will need to show. So you're able to find employment and transition from your role as a PhD student into an academic role. Okay, so what does being an academic usually involve is four things that we can think about. One is teaching, one is supervising, the other one is researching, and the other one is disseminating your research. So at the moment, when you finish your PhD and you start looking for work, you should show some evidence of these four things, right? So I'll discuss how you can get involved in each one of them as a student at the University of Glasgow in particular. In terms of teaching, I highly encourage you that you look for opportunities as a graduate teaching assistant, beginning on your second year, or as an associate tutor. I can share this link with you later, but this is basically the university job website, and you can look for opportunities as an intern, as a GTA, or as an AT. They're usually advertised there. The second thing is you can ask your supervisor if they need courses if they need help with the courses they teach. I've had experience of being able to tutor in the courses that my supervisors teach, but I've also contacted lecturers from the university. There is a course catalog on the university website, and if you find that you have knowledge of or experience with specific topics, you can contact the course leaders of these classes and offer and ask, do you need a tutor? Do you need a graduate teaching assistant? Do you need any help with the courses? And slowly become involved with this teaching part of your role, okay? A common problem that I have found is that in the UK particularly, these opportunities are not part of your program. They're not intrinsic. You need to find them. Otherwise, you can find yourself graduated with very little teaching experience, right? So something to keep in mind. The second point concerns your research, disseminating your research, which covers two main things. One is attending conferences, and the other is publishing your research. In terms of attending conferences, each school has funding for PhD students. The School of Education, for instance, has an £800 yearly funding that you can apply for that covers up to 2 conferences a year. And this is for every year that you're a student. So you can basically attend 6 conferences throughout your PhD almost for free. This is something, each school will have different funding, but you should investigate and find out how much that is and see if you can join some of these. There are many conferences that are online. They are cheaper the fee is cheaper, so you will use less money, less funding. But also, I find them personally more useful. Because you go to smaller waiting rooms, right? You share with maybe 5 or 6 or 10 people. The feedback is instant. There is instant participation through the chat box or after you finish your presentation. Whereas large conferences, in my experience, they look good on your CV, but they're pretty useless. There are many sessions running at the same time. People say thank you, and that's it. There's no real learning experience or opportunities for networking. This has been my experience, my observation. And if you are in the social sciences, I strongly recommend that you join the Scottish Graduate School for Social Sciences. Joining is free, and they have great training opportunities for you as a researcher during the summer, during the spring, and also job opportunities. So you can work as an intern. They have lots of different possibilities that can offer you something that the program at the university might not offer you necessarily. The second point about disseminating research concerns publication. Now, there is a strong emphasis, I think, and sometimes even an obsession with publishing a paper. And papers, at one point, I mean, you should expect to publish at least 1 or 2 by the end of your PhD. However, research blogs are very common, particularly in the UK. They are the research you read is high quality research. You go through the same editorial process, you go through a peer review process, editorial process, and it reaches a wider audience. But importantly for you, it helps you learn the process of submitting, writing in a concise manner, because the posts are usually shorter, between 500 and 1,000 words, but you can publish snippets and parts of your research as you go, and you learn quite a bit from this experience. When it comes to publishing a paper, a recommendation I have is try to publish. You can publish sections of your PhD. For example, the literature review can be one publication, the methodology chapter, another publication, the results chapter, another one. But whatever you do in this case, go over with your supervisor. Some supervisors actually expect to be considered or asked about this publication. My supervisors have pretty much let me be, but this is not always the case. So always check with them. If they want to be part of this process, they can give you feedback, comments. They might want to write something with you, and this might make it easier for you since they already have certain connections, or they know the system of the journal that might be more suitable for you. Next point is an idea, which is when you attend a conference, the conference will ask you to submit an abstract. Abstracts are usually 500 to 700 words with references extra. But because you have so much time between the acceptance of your abstract and the presentation itself at the conference, you can actually write a paper on your topic, and the conference organizers will ask you, do you want to publish your presentation in our journal? So this is another possibility for you to explore publishing your work. It's normally shorter, usually 2,500 to 4,000 words. So it's the size of a university assignment, right? This is another possibility for disseminating your research. If you subscribe to different organizations, professional organizations, and you become a member, they will send you calls for abstracts or calls for proposals for book chapters. Book chapters have many advantages. They are usually, the acceptance process is much easier. You send a proposal or an abstract and they tell you, yeah, okay, great. Then you send your draft and it goes through a peer review process, and then it gets published. It's very, very difficult that it will get rejected, actually. So if you are eager to publish your work, book chapters are also a good possibility to explore. And finally, one thing that I want to focus on is the last point concerning your transition, of something you should consider as part of your PhD journey, is apply for grants when they are available. In the UK, there are fieldwork grants available, there are travel grants available to do your fieldwork. And if the university offers two, one is the McRobertson and the other one, I can't remember the name, but they are on the website. The British Association for International Comparative Education, BICE, they also have a fieldwork grant that you can apply for. And there are different ones. So if by the end of your PhD, on your CV, you have teaching experience, some publications, some research blogs, one paper or two papers, and you have evidence that you have applied for grants and have these applications accepted, that's also a bonus point. And another recommendation I have is becoming a peer reviewer for a journal. If you simply Google search, become a peer reviewer, you will get lots of different results, and you can contact the editors of the journals themselves and offer, can I become a peer reviewer? This is unpaid volunteer work, but it's a very, very good learning experience because you have guidelines that help you in the process of reviewing papers, and this will make you a better writer. So by the time it comes to submit your own work, the process will be smoother and easier for you.